So the 66th question, the internal rate of return is that rate of discount which sets the net present value of a project at equal to 0 will be the right answer here. The internal rate of return IRR is the discount rate that makes the net present value NPV of a project equal to 0. The IRR, internal rate of return, is the rate at which the present value of future cash flows equals the initial investment, indicating the break-even point where no net gain or loss occurs. So the option 1 will be the right answer of 66th question. Now the next question, 67th, which one of the following is not a potential reason for government failure? So first statement is lobbying by special interest groups to secure protective legislation. So this statement can lead to policies that benefit a small group at the expense of the general public, causing inefficiencies and misallocation of resources. So and the next statement is difficult for diffused groups to organize as unified opposition. So when the cost of government actions are spread across a large number of people, it can be challenging for these these individuals to coordinate and oppose harmful policies effectively. So the both statement A and B are incorrect here. Therefore, since both statements are valid reason of government failure, the correct answer will be the third one, because question is asking about the not potential region. So both A and B statement are the potential region of government failure. So the third one will be the right answer here. Now the next question is in the cost benefit analysis, statement A is the benefits are measured simply as the relevant area under the demand curve. This is correct because the area under the demand curve represents the total willingness to pay for the good or service, which is a measure of the benefits. And the statement B, the total costs are measured as a relevant area under the total cost curve. This is not typically correct. In cost benefit analysis, costs are usually represented by the supply curve or marginal cost curve, not the total cost curve. And so this one is the wrong statement here. And the third C statement, the demand curve reflects the consumer's willingness to pay. So this statement is correct because the demand curve shows how much consumers are willing to pay at different quantities. So statement A and C are correct here, but B is not correct. So the option will be the A and C. First option will be the right. A and C are correct. Now the next question is 69. Assume two individuals share a room. One of them is smoker and the second is non-smoker. The smoker gets utility from smoking, but the non-smoker gets this utility from smoke is in the room. So which of the following is the most appropriate answer according to the Coase theorem? So to achieve efficiency, the smoker should be given right to smoke in the in the room. And the second statement, it does not matter who has the right. Assignment of right to anyone would achieve efficiency. And third is the smoker should pay the non-smoker a compensation equal to marginal damage caused by the smoking. And fourth is to achieve efficiency, the non-smoker should be given right to smoke less room. So the first statement the second statement is the right answer here. According to the Coase theorem, if property rights are well defined and transaction costs are negligible, parties will negotiate to each to reach an efficient outcome regardless of who holds the initial property rights. Therefore, efficiency can be achieved whether the right is assigned to the smoker or the non-smoker, as they can negotiate compensation to resolve the externality. So second one will be the right answer. And why the first, third and fourth are the wrong here or not appropriate answer here? Because the first statement, to achieve efficiency, the smoker should be given right to smoke in the room. This option is incorrect because it prescribes a specific assignment of rights. The Coase theorem asserts that the initial assignments of right does not matter for achieving efficiency as long as property rights are clearly defined and transaction costs are low. And the third statement is also incorrect because this assumes a specific direction of compensation. While this can be an outcome of negotiation, it is not a requirement. According to the Coase theorem, efficiency can be reached regardless of who compensates whom. And the fourth statement, to achieve efficiency, the non-smoker should be given a right to smoke a room, is also incorrect or similar to the statement 1, because this prescribes a specific assignments of rights. The Coase theorem states that efficiency is independent of the initial allocation of rights as long as they are well defined and parties can negotiate without significant cost. So second will be the right option or right statement about the 69th question. And the next question 70, which are the versions of travel cost method? So zonal travel cost method model, travel cost model, zonal travel cost model, second individual travel cost model, and third is random utility model. So A, B, C, all the three statement or option are here correct here. And we will explain the we will see the discuss the about all three zonal travel cost model and one by one. Firstly, a zonal travel cost model. This version aggregates data based on geographic zones and estimates the demand for a recreational site by examining travel costs from different zones. And the second, individual travel cost model. This version uses individual level data to estimate the demand for a recreational site based on each person's travel cost and other factors. And the last one is a random utility model. This version incorporates individual choice behavior, considering the utility individuals derive from different recreational sites and their travel costs. So all the three versions are used in different contexts within the travel cost model, and the third will be the right answer here. Now the next question 71, which of the following about physical quality of life index PQLI is not correct? See the not correct question asking about the not correct. So the first statement, it is calculated by averaging the three indicators giving equal weights to each. This is the incorrect statement here because PQLI does not give equal weights to each indicator. Instead, the PQLI is calculated by averaging three indicators: infant mortality rate, life expectancy at age 1, and basic literacy at age 10. However, these indicators are not given equal weights. Life expectancy at age 1 contributes the most weight to the index, followed by basic literacy at age 10, and then the infant mortality rate. And all the that's why the statement 1 is not correct here, and all the three statements are correct. None of the indicators of PQLI depends on any particular level of development, and it does not mean total welfare and basic literacy at age 10 is 1. All the three statements are correct. Now the next question is 72. Consider the following with regards to Harrod-Domer model of growth. So statement 1 or assertion 1, for maintaining full employment equilibrium level of income year to year, both real income and output should expand at the same rate at which the productive capacity of capital stock is expanding. And the region, any divergence between the rate of expansion of real income and output and productive capacity of capital stock would lead to excess idle capacity. So here are the explanation. Statement A is correct because in the Harry-Domer model, maintaining full employment equilibrium requires that real income and output expand at the same rate as the productive capacity of the capital stock. And the region R is also correct, while both also correct, but not directly explain exception in a casual manner. The two statements are related but not necessarily explanatory of each other. So statement answer second will option second will be the right answer here. Now the next question, 73. One of the best known early theoretical models of development that focused on the structural transformation of a primarily subsistence economy was that formulated by, so it's easy question, W.L. Lewis. W.L. Lewis dual sector model of development introduced in mid 20th century around the 1950s. Lewis dual sector model focuses on the structural transformation of economies from primarily agrarian or subsistence based to industrialized. He proposed that in early stages of development a surplus of labor exists in the low productivity agricultural sector. As industrialization progresses, the surplus labor moves to the more productive industrial sector, leading to economic growth and transformation. So the option 1 will be the right answer here, W.A. Lewis. Now the next 74th question. If we discuss about all the three options here, so W.W. Rostow introduced stages of economic growth introduced in 1960s. Rostow stages of economic growth theory outlines a linear progression of development through 5 stages. First one is a traditional society, second is preconditions for takeoff, and the third is takeoff, and fourth is drive to maturity, and the last fifth stage is age of high mass consumption. So the theory suggests that economies evolve through these stages as they adopt modern technologies, institutions, and behaviors. Now the next is Morris D. Morris. There is no widely recognized economist or theory by this name in the field of economic development. It could be less known or theory of perhaps mistaken in reference, but we can see the Morris D. Morris give the PQLI index given by Morris D. Morris, and the last Harry Johnson similarly there is no widely recognized any theory associated with Harry Johnson in the context of economic development. So now the next question, 74th. Consider the following regarding Lewis theory of unlimited supply of labor. First statement is a capital formation does not depend on capitalist surplus. Is right statement here. because this is incorrect. According to Lewis theory, which proposes that capital formation can occur independently of capitalist surplus due to the unlimited supply of labor in the initial stages of development. And second statement B, marginal productivity of labor in the capitalist sector is higher than the capitalist wage, which results in capitalist surplus. So second statement is wrong here because Lewis theory, according to Lewis theory, as he did not emphasize the concept of capitalist surplus resulting from the difference between the marginal productivity of labor and the wage. Now that's why the second statement is wrong here. And now the third statement C, the capitalist surplus is reinvested in capital assets until supply of labor becomes inelastic. This statement is right here because this is also consistent with Lewis theory, where the surplus generated from the capitalist sector is reinvested in capital assets until the point when the supply of labor becomes less elastic or more scarce. So option statement A and C are correct here, and it shows by the option B, option 2. So only only A and C statements are correct. You can see the explanation here. Now the next question, 75, in Lucas model of growth, which is a major determinant of growth? So we all know investment in human capital is a major determinant of growth according to Lucas. Here is a little explanation. The Lucas model developed by Robert Lucas emphasized the role of human capital in economic growth. According to this model, investment in human capital such as education, training, and skill development are crucial or important for long-term economic growth and productivity improvements. Now the next question is 76. Kaldor's growth model is based on the following assumptions. So first assumption is national income or output consists of wages and profits only, because this assumption implies that in Kaldor's model, national income is divided into two main components: wage, which represent payments or to labor, and profits, which represent payments to capital. The simplification has to and now the next statement. So this is the correct assumption of Kaldor's growth model. Now the next statement assumption: investment output ratio is an independent variable. So investment output ratio is an independent variable. In Kaldor's growth model, the investment output ratio is treated as an exogenously given independent variable. This means that it is determined outside the model and influence economic outcomes such as the rate of economic growth without being directly affected by other variables within the model. So this assumption is also correct. Now the third assumption C, there is a situation of less than full employment in the economy. So this statement is also correct here. There is a situation of less than full employment in the economy. This suggests that this assumption suggests that the Kaldor model operates in a context where the economy is not operate at full employment. This can be due to various factors such as cyclical downturns, structural inefficiencies, or frictional unemployment. The model expresses how growth occurs within such conditions. Now the next assumption: the marginal propensity to save of workers is greater than that of capitalist. It is wrong statement because the marginal propensity to save of capitalist is greater than the worker. So the option will be the first one. A, B, C assumptions are true or correct assumptions of the Kaldor's growth model. Now the next question is 77. Which of the following assumption of solo model is not correct here? Not correct here about solo model. So neutral technical progress is correct, and why it is correct? This is a correct assumption in the solo model, where where technical progress does not favor any particular factor of production. And next is two factors of production. Labor and capital are paid according to their marginal uh, physical productivities. It's also a right statement or right assumption here. Two factors of production, labor and capital, are paid according to their marginal productivity. This assumption also correct, as it is a foundational principle in the solo model. And the third one is labor and capitals are substitutable for each other. This is another correct assumption in the solo model, where capital and labor can be substituted to some extent in production process. And the fourth one is wrong assumption, because it's about increasing returns to scale, and solo assume the constant returns to scale. So that's why this assumption will be the this option will be the right answer, because that is a question asking about the not correct. So increasing returns to scale. Now the next 78 question. Which of the following is true with regard to Harrod's model of economic growth? So first statement is actual rate of growth is determined by the saving ratio and incremental capital output ratio. So in the Harrod model, the actual rate of growth is determined by the saving ratio. The proportion of saving ratio is the proportion of income saved and invested, and the incremental capital output ratio, the amount of capital required to produce an additional unit of output. This relationship helps determine the actual growth rate of an economy. And so the statement first is right here. And the next B, warranted rate of growth is determined by the current growth of the working population and the current potential for technical progress. This is incorrect, because warranted rate of growth is not based on the current growth of the working population or the current potential of for technical progress. The warranted rate of growth is determined by the exogenously given rates of growth of labor force and technical progress, not their current values. So that's why this statement is wrong here. And the C statement, natural rate of growth is the rate of growth required for the full utilization of a growing stock of capital. This statement is right here, because the natural rate of growth according to Harrod is the rate of growth needed to fully utilize the increasing stock of capital without causing instability or fluctuations in the economy. It represents a sustainable rate of growth that matches the growth of the capital stock. So option first will be the right answer, A and C. Now the next question is 79. Which of the following is not correct regarding indigenous growth model? So the statement first, they do not consider growing population in order to generate ongoing growth process. This statement is generally true for indigenous growth model, as they often incorporate population growth as a key factor influencing economic growth. So this statement is true, but question is asking about the not correct here. So the second statement is they discard the assumption of diminishing marginal returns to capital investment. This is also generally true, as indigenous growth models may challenge or modify the traditional assumption of diminishing returns to capital, especially in the context of technological progress or other factors. And the third statement, they frequently focus on a role of externalities to determine the rate of return on capital investment. So this is characteristic of many indigenous growth models, as they emphasize the impact of external factors such as technological spillovers, knowledge diffusion, and innovation on economic growth. And the last statement is they hold GNP growth to be a natural consequences of short run equilibrium. This statement is they hold GNP growth to be a natural consequence of certain equilibrium is not a characteristic commonly associated with indigenous growth model. These models often look beyond short-term equilibria and may emphasize long-term dynamics, technological progress, human capital development, and other factors that contribute to sustained economic growth. So that's why the fourth one will be the right answer or not correct regarding indigenous growth model, and all three statements are the correct for the indigenous growth models. Now the next question, 80th question, is which economist give importance to agricultural product in capital accumulation in underdeveloped countries? So this is an easy question. We all know Fine-Reyes FR model, or we can say Fine-Reyes economist gave the importance to the um, agriculture product in capital accumulation in underdeveloped countries. So Fine-Reyes are also known as surplus labor model, introduced in the mid 20th century around 1950s to 1960s. This model emphasized the importance of agriculture development in capital accumulation in underdeveloped countries. It argued that surplus labor in agriculture could be utilized for industrialization and capital accumulation, leading to economic growth. It is also called extension version of Lewis model, and Lewis gave the unlimited supply of labor, that model, and it is Fine-Reyes model is the extension version of Lewis model. Now the J.K. Galbraith, John Kenneth Galbraith, an influential economist, focused more on issues related to economic inequality, consumer behavior, and the role of government in managing economies. While he made significant contribution to economics, his work did not specify emphasize agriculture role in capital accumulation in underdeveloped countries. And what about R. Narkasi? So Ragnar Narkasi is known for his vicious circle of poverty theory, introduced in the mid 20th century around 1950s. This theory highlighted the challenges faced by underdeveloped countries in breaking out of poverty due to low levels of savings and capital accumulation. While Narkasi did emphasize the importance of capital accumulation, his focus was broader and not specifically for agriculture. That's why Narkasi is not answer here. And now the J.E. Mead, James Edward Mead made significant contribution to international trade theory and economic policy. His work also did not specifically emphasize agriculture's role in capital accumulation in underdeveloped countries. So that's all about the all four options, and first Fine-Reyes will be the right answer of this question. Now the 81 question, according to the golden rule of accumulation statement, first, in a golden age per capita consumption is maximized when the saving rate is less than the profit rate. And this statement aligns with the golden rule of accumulation. It suggests in an economy's golden age where long-term prosperity is achieved, per capita consumption is maximized when the saving rate, the proportion of income saved and invested, is less than the profit rate, the return on investment. This balance ensures that enough resources are allocated to investment, which fuels economic growth while still allowing for significant consumption. So that's why this statement is right here. And what about the all three statements? Second is in a golden age per capita consumption is equal to per capita real income. This statement does not directly relate to the golden rule of accumulation. While the per capita consumption and per capita real income are important economic indicators, the golden rule specifically addresses the optimal savings rate or for maximizing long-term consumption levels. That's why this is not the appropriate answer here. And what about third option? In a golden age per capita real income is highest when rate of capital formation is higher than the saving rate. So this statement also does not align with the golden rule of accumulation. The golden rule suggests that the optimal saving rate is the one where the marginal product of capital profit rate equals the time preference rate interest rate, leading to maximum per capita consumption in the long runs. And the fourth option, in a golden age per capita consumption is maximized when the saving rate equals to the profit rate. This statement is incorrect. According to the golden rule of accumulation, per capita consumption is maximized when the saving rate is less. But it's showing maximized when the consumption is maximized, when the saving rate equals the profit rate. So the first option will be the right statement here, statement here about the golden rule of accumulation. Now the next 82, which is the source of disparity between measured real income and actual advantage considered by MRTS. So first option is personal heterogeneity, second is environmental diversities, and third is variation in social climate and distribution within the family. So A, C and D will be the right answer here. Why? We can see here the personal heterogeneity refers to the differences between individuals in terms of their capabilities, needs and opportunities. For example, two individuals with the same measured income may experience different levels of well-being due to factors like health, education, skills and social connections. Amartya Sen emphasized that focusing solely on income overlooks these personal heterogeneities and their impact on an individual's actual advantage or well-being. Now the second, environmental diversities. So this is not directly related to the Amartya Sen's argument, because environmental diversities typically refers to variations in natural or physical environments such as climate, geography and resources. While these factors can influence well-being, Sen's focus is more on the social and individual dimension that affect actual advantage beyond just income. And the next one, variation in social climate. So this highlights the importance of social factors in shaping individuals well-being. Social climate includes aspects like cultural norms, social attitudes and institutions social attitudes and institutions and policies. Sen argues that variations in the social climate can significantly impact the opportunities and freedoms available to individuals regardless of their measured income. And the fourth, distribution within the family. This refers to how resources and responsibilities are allocated among family members. In many societies, there are disparities in access to resources, decision making power, and care responsibilities within families. Sen's perspective consider intra household dynamics as crucial in understanding individuals' actual advantage and well-being beyond what is reflected in their measured income. So all the three statement A, C and D are correct here, and fourth will be the right answer of the 82 question. Now the next question is 83. Which of the following is not correct? So first is Lorentz curve can be used to measure the degree of inequality. It's right question asking about not correct. So this first statement is correct, because Lorentz curve are graphical representation used to visualize income or wealth distribution within a population. They help measure inequality by comparing the actual distribution of income or wealth with the hypothetical situation of perfect equality. And now the second, Lorentz curve can be used to find Gini coefficient. This statement is also correct. The Gini coefficient is derived from the Lorentz curve. It quantifies the degree of inequality in a distribution. The Gini coefficient is calculated as the area between the Lorentz curve and the line of perfect equality divided by the total area under the line of perfect equality. And the third statement, the Gini coefficient may vary anywhere from -1 to +1. This statement is wrong here. and will be the right answer here, because Gini coefficient can vary from 0 to 1. Will be right here. Gini coefficient of 0 represents perfect equality, and the 1 represents perfect inequality, where the one person has all the income or wealth and everyone else has none. So the fourth answer will be the third statement here, because this is wrong and question asking about the not correct. And the fourth statement, Lorentz curve shows the actual quantitative relationship between percentage of income recipients and the percentage of total income received by them during 1 year. This statement is also correct. The Lorentz curve plots the cumulative percentage of income recipients against the cumulative percentage of total income they receive. It visually demonstrates how income or wealth is distributed across different segments of the population. So first, second and fourth statements are right, but question asking about not correct, so third will be the right answer here. Now the next question is 84th, and the capacity creating aspects of investment in growth theory was emphasized by E.D. Domer. So the first option, right option will be the E.D. Domer here, and we can describe here all the fourth option. So first one is R.M. Solow, 1956. Robert Solow introduced the Solow-Swan model of economic growth, also known as the neoclassical growth model. His main contribution was emphasize the role of technological progress and capital accumulation in driving economic growth over time. The Solow model focuses on factors like savings, investment, and technological change as determinants of long-term economic growth. And the second option is Nicholas Kaldor, 1957. Kaldor contributes to the theory of economic growth with his emphasis on the importance of demand-side factors in promoting economic growth. He argued that increasing returns to scale along with technical progress and capital accumulation play significant roles in fostering economic growth. Kaldor also emphasized the importance of structural change and industrial development in his growth theories. And the third will be the Paul Samuelson. So Paul Samuelson, 1939. Paul Samuelson contributes to economic growth theory are primarily related to his work on the Harrod-Domer model. This model highlights the role of investment in generating economic growth. Samuelson, along with the Harrod, developed the idea that sustained economic growth requires a level of investment sufficient to absorb increase in labor and maintain full employment. And the fourth one is E.D. Domer, 1946. Avase Domer's key contribution to growth theory is known as the Domer model or Harrod-Domer model, developed in collaboration with Nicholas Kaldor. This model emphasized the importance of investment in creating capacity and generating economic growth. Domer highlighted that investment not only leads to immediate output but also builds the productive capacity of the economy, leading to sustained growth over time. So summary is so if we talk about the summary of the whole question, Solow, 1956, emphasized technological progress and capital accumulation. 1956 emphasized technological progress and capital accumulation. Nicholas Kaldor in 1957 focused on demand side factor, increasing returns to scale and structural change. And Samuelson, 1939, contributed to the Harrod-Domer model, emphasizing the role of investment in maintaining full employment and generating growth. And Domer model, E.D. Domer model, 1946, emphasized the capacity creating aspects of investment in the Harrod-Domer model, highlighting its role in sustained economic growth. So the fourth will be the right answer of this question. Now the next question is 85, which is correct regarding Gini coefficient. So the A, used to measure income and consumption inequality. The Gini coefficient is indeed used to measure both income and consumption inequality. It provides a numerical representation of the degree of inequality within a distribution, whether it's income or consumption. So the right statement here is first one, and next B is it ranges in its limits between 0 and 1. So this is also a right statement here, because we already discussed 0 represents the perfect equality and everyone has the same income or consumption, and 1 represents the perfect inequality. One person has all the income or consumption, everyone else has none. And the next statement, when it assumes the value 0 indicates the economic level of every individual except 1 is 0. The statement is also wrong here, because we discussed here the statement B, and statement C is saying that a Gini coefficient is of 0 indicates. Statement C is saying that the value of 0 indicates the income level of every individual except 1 is 0. So this is wrong here, and A and B will be the right statement, and first one will be the right answer of 85 question. Now the next 86th question, indicator CO2 emission per unit value added belongs to which of the following sustainable development goal? So it's clearly mentioned in sustainable development goal 13. This goal, as mentioned earlier, in about taking urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. It includes targets related to reducing greenhouse gas emissions, increasing climate resilience and adaptation, promoting sustainable practices, and raising awareness about climate changes. This indicator CO2 emission per unit value added fits within the scope of SDGs 13, because it relates to measuring and reducing carbon emissions. Why the others are wrong option here? Because sustainable development goal 11, this goal focuses on making cities and human settlement inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. It encompasses various aspects related to urbanization, such as affordable housing, public transport, environmental impact, and disaster resilience. So this is not correct answer here. And the third one, sustainable development goal 16, SDG 16 is about focuses on promoting peaceful and inclusive society for sustainable development, providing access to justice for all, and building effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions. So that's why this is not discussing about the emission, urban CO2 emission. And the fourth one is goal 9, and this goal aims to build a resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. Triple I, infrastructure, industrialization, and innovation. It encompasses areas such as infrastructure development, industrial growth, technological progress, and access to information and communication technologies (ICTs). While reducing carbon emissions could be a part of sustainable industrial practices, the specific indicator CO2 emission per unit value added is not exactly associated with the ninth goal also. So the right answer will be the SDGs 13. Now the next question is 87. Which of the following indicators does not belong to Gender Development Index (GDI)? So the first statement is female and male GNI per capita PPPs. It's related, and female and male shares of parliamentary seats, it's also related. And third is female and male mean year of schooling is also related. Education also related in it. And the fourth one, female and male life expectancy, is not related to GDI. So this will be the right answer. We can discuss here. The Gender Development Index (GDI) includes indicators that specifically measure gender disparities in development outcomes. Among the options provided, the indicators of that does not belong to the GDI is female expectancy and male life expectancy. Female and male life expectancy, because the GDI typically focuses on indicators related to education, income, and political representation to assess gender disparities in human development. And GDI is a part of the SDI created by the UNDP. The GDI specifically focuses on the three key areas of human development where gender disparities are often observed. Health, first one is the health. So this includes indicators such as life expectancy at birth for females and males. And education, this includes indicators like mean year of schooling for females and males. And third is income, this includes indicators such as gross national income per capita for females and male. And the GDI is calculated by taking the geometric mean of three dimensions indices, one for each of the area mentioned above. It ranges from 0 to 1, where the value closer to 1 indicates lower gender disparities and greater gender equality in human development outcomes. That's all about the GDI. So the fourth one will be the right answer here, because it asks question asking about does not female and male life expectancy. Now the next question, 88th question, economic growth includes expansion of a country's potential GDP or national output as a right statement, right according to economic growth, because economic growth typically involves an increase in a country's potential GDP or national output over time. This can be due to factors like technological progress, increased capital investment, and improvements in productivity. So A will be the right statement. And B, national production possibility frontier shifts outward. In we all know in economic growth, the production possibility frontier shift outward because this indicates an increase in the economy's capacity to produce goods and services due to factors such as advancements in technology, better resource allocation, and increased specialization. So that's one. This will be also right. And now the next, growth rate of output per capita. In economic growth, it also include growth rate of output per capita, because this metric provide insights into the average standard of living and economic well-being of individuals in a country over time. So all the three statements are correct here, and third will be the right answer here. Now the 89th question, the optional amount of capital under the golden rule of accumulation is that statement first, where profit rate is more than the growth rate. This statement is not correct here, because this scenario is not consistent with the golden rule of accumulation. If the profit rate exceeds the growth rate, it implies that the return on investment or profit is growing faster than the overall economy, which could lead to overall investment in capital and efficiencies is in resource allocation. So this one is not correct here. Now the next one, where productivity of capital is equal to the productivity of labor. This equality is important for optimal resource allocation and efficiency. It is not specifically related to the golden rule of accumulation. The golden rule focuses on the relationship between the profit rate and the growth rate, not directly on the productivity of capital related to labor. That's why this is also wrong. And the third one, where saving rate is minimum. This statement does not align with the golden rule of accumulation. The golden rule does not stipulate that the saving rate should be at a minimum. Instead, it focuses on optimizing the amount of capital investment to ensure that the return on capital matches the rate of economic growth. And the fourth one, which equates the profit rate to the growth rate. So this statement is correct explanation of the golden rule of accumulation. The optimal amount of capital according to this rule is where the profit rate, marginal productivity of capital, is equal to the growth rate of economy. In other words, the economy invests in capital up to the point where the return on investment profit matches the overall rate of economic expansion, maximizing long-term welfare and efficiency. So fourth will be the right answer here. Now the next question is 90. If for the constant elasticity of substitution production function, the value of substitution parameter p is equal to -1, the elasticity of substitution will be infinite. How it can be infinite? Because substitution parameter rho is equal to -1. So the formula of elasticity of substitution is equal to 1 upon 1 plus rho, and rho is equal to -1. So if we put the value of substitution parameter here, so what happened? If we put the value of rho here, so it will be 1 plus -1. So 1 upon 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. So it will be the 1 upon 0 is equal to infinite. So answer will be the infinite here. So that's all about today.